Well, I came back. As I had said once before, I really wanted to spend some time here at the Bass Pro Shop in Springfield, Illinois. I understand this is the home of the founder, and they also have a theater here, or an aquarium. I'm not too sure, but there's some kind of a presentation hall or place. So I'm real anxious to take a look at it as well, as also just go around the store and see some of the many things they have to offer. When I was here last time, one of the major things that impressed me so much was all the water and all the fish. And I was saying to the guy I was with, a buddy of mine, I just wonder how big the staff is that is required to take care of all the millions and millions of gallons of water for all these fresh fish. So it's quite something to see, and this time I hope to video much of it for you. So come along, and I hope you enjoy the ride. I'm a real fan of outdoor stores like this. I know Cabela's has some really big stores with some water features in them, as does a Fielden Stream, which is a place close to where my son lives, and it's a beautiful store. I just enjoy these kinds of stores so much, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what all they have here in a little more detail than the last time I was able to do. This is for my grandson and daughter-in-law who love turtles. I'm guessing these are mostly bass and carp. That big fellow just drove by. I have no idea what that is. It looks like a pike or a gar or something with a long snout. Dylan, you would love this place. The bluing on this lever action is unbelievable. It's a Winchester. And this is a trout stream. And there's some cute little ducks. here's an underwater view of the trout. Amazing to me because you can walk right over this little stream right in the middle of the store. And it looks like someone's down there cleaning things out for us. There's another place where you can walk over the stream. Young lady fishing stuff out. And this one's for you, Mike. Look at that paint job. You can hardly look at it straight in the light. Well, what I wouldn't do to have one of these for my days in Arizona. There's all kinds of trails and places where you could go to use it, and a lot of people have them. And this would just be a whale of a lot of fun. You can dream anyway, right? I'm just not at all sure whether they have enough rods in here. Okay, my impressions of Bass Pro Shop. I believe, after spending a couple of hours in there, that it's a phenomenal place, and if you're an outdoorsman, if they don't have it here, you don't need it. So anyway, it's just a great place, and I certainly enjoyed walking around and seeing just everything. And most enjoyable to me were the live waters and all the fish. And of course, then they had a lot of exhibits of animals as well. So, in any event, worth the trip. Thanks for coming along. And if you see me adding the museum in here, then you know I came. So, thanks. It's been a great day thus far. Hope your day's going well too. Beautiful day today. It's not real hot. Warm enough, however, and it looks like they're open, so hang in there. We'll get down and see what's going on.
Osage Native American.
Native Americans, okay. So that's a black walnut tree, and you say it's how old?
230 to 240 years old. So the Osage elders who we've talked to have three theories on why it's built. One is Are you from the area, sir?
No.
Okay. So west of us, eventually.
Do you mind if I?
River. Oh yeah, that's fine. As long as you don't show me the video, we're good. West of us is the Mississippi River, and so as you go out towards Cape Girardeau, that is a buffalo trail, and so the Native Americans would go along the buffalo trail to the next hunt site. A little bit closer is a town called Linden, Missouri, south of Rogersville, Missouri, where they had rock bluffs dating back with occupation 10,000 years. And so it could be just pointing them to the next campsite. Now the final theory is that the cave being a sacred place for the Osage people, it was pointing towards the rising sun. So they did not pray to the sun, but they prayed with the sun. It was a sacred part of their day as well. They prayed a lot, and so they were theorizing it was just pointing east as a sacred object. No matter what the reason for it, we know that it's a living artifact left for us by the Osage today, and it's a big part of the story here at the cave. We'll revisit Miss Harriet and her family as time goes on. We're going to point at some stuff.
When you say it points at the cave, what are you talking about?
It points east towards the rising sun. So as the Osage people, you flash back 230 years, as they came out of the cave and up this valley, this tree would be pointing towards the direction when they first probably could see the sun reaching over as they came out of the valley. Of course, we don't know, and the Osage elders that have come out and talked about it weren't here at the time, but that's their best guess.
Oh,
the
cool.
buildings that you see here, the bathroom that you used earlier. Oh, and here's our lizard friend if you're curious. Oh, I see. Civil War was 8 to 12 years old, and his name was Quincy Smallin. We're going to talk about some local Missouri history and some Union forces that were stationed there at Ozark, Missouri, and that was the H Regiment of the Missouri 14th Cavalry. They would come to this cave, they would have R&R, and you'll see in the cave where they carved an H for their regiment. Now Quincy, being 8 to 12 years old, we'll call him 10, he did not want to be one-upped by those Union boys, and so he carved in the cave really large, and you can still see it today, Q.A. Smallin. And so when folks would come to map the cave, they'd talk to the Smallin family, they'd see Smallin in the cave walls, and so on many, many maps, this is known as Smallin's Cave.
Smallin's Cave.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so the Brights wanted to honor that history, honor the Civil War name, so they just called it Smallin Civil War Cave.
Neat.
So we'll mosey on down even more.
Okay.
We may have the opportunity to have other people join our tour. So basically we will stop and talk up there again. This is just like the preliminary history for you of the property and the people on it. The energy is fresh. By the end of the day, that's about where I'd be too. So this is Fielden Cave. This is the first of 3 caves on our property on our tour today. It is an intermittent spring-fed cave. Right now you can see the intermittent side because we haven't had a lot of rain here recently, so the groundwater is dried up.
May I walk over?
Oh yeah. You can see a little trickle of water. Inside the cave, in the spring bed, or in the stream bed, pardon, there's a hole about 4 feet deep, and that's a spring box refrigerator.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
And I'll have you step back on the path just about that. This is Smallin. It is our
This is the cave entrance.
This is the cave entrance.
It's huge. If you don't mind, if you want to walk up there, it'll give me some scale.
So we're looking at an entrance about 55 feet high and 100 feet wide. Reference, I'm about 6 feet tall, so that's a big cave. Now before we get too far in, I'm going to point out one other cave over here, our second of 3 caves on the property, and maybe it's aptly named Disappointment Cave.
Oh.
So it is not 55 feet high. It goes about 15 feet back, and to be a cave, and there's about 8,500 known caves in Missouri, to be a cave you have to be 10 feet back that a person can walk. So we call this one about a cave and a half. But this is a good time to talk about the karst geography of the area. So if you see there's a crack that kind of extends either way out of the mouth of the cave,
yes,
and it actually goes all the way around.
Yes.
And you can see it on the far cave wall with a larger opening. We feel that is the original bedding plane of our cave. So that's where it all started a long, long time ago. Now, some cave geology. As it rains, that rain goes into the groundwater, starts to collect carbon dioxide, becomes carbonic acid. There we go. Becomes carbonic acid, starts to dissolve that limestone. As it does, those sediments and different minerals start to flow with the water, grinds against other existing limestone layers, and does mechanical weathering. So the chemical weathering and mechanical weathering paired together starts to form different openings and eventually a massive cave mouth like you see today to the Assembly of God Church. This is an ultimate symbol of creation. So that's what that plaque is there. It's called a shower head. If you would come in the spring where there's plenty of groundwater, that actually is flowing like a shower head. Now it's 54 degrees, so that's not a shower you probably want to take, but it is kind of neat to see, and it is a pretty healthy flowstone formation because it's out of touch. You can't read it.
So it's a flowstone.
Flowstone. Native Americans were one of the first people to carve in this formation, and you can actually see that here. You see those different footholds? So Native Americans carved those footholds so they could climb to the top of the flowstone. Those were used by different settlers in the 1830s and 40s, Union soldiers, the Smalllands, as well as the church campers as time went on. So it's been used. You can also see how dark and nasty the flowstone got from contact with human oil. So a healthy flowstone, like that formation back there on the left, does not have that brown tinge.
Was this natural, this pool? Or
Yes, and I'm going to point out some features. So you see this ribbon in front here?
That's what I thought maybe somebody constructed it.
Well, that is what's called a rimstone dam. So what happens is when this stream bed dries up and there's gravel bars, the calcite forms over those gravel bars and makes that rimstone dam. So this first one is about 14 feet high. This one back here, and I might have to switch flashlights because this one's not very bright. The one against the back of the pool is 14 feet high. Let's see what this flashlight does. There we go. That's 14. You're seeing about 6 feet exposed and about 8 feet of it underwater.
Use of this cell phone.
Oh, I don't know what this. I'm actually going to take a photo of this.
This is amazing.
So that is a formation we call the milk bottle. This silly cell phone out over here, it looks like we have some kind of cave spider on the rail. So you better not bite me.
Now that's a female.
That is a female bristled cave crayfish.
Bristled cave crayfish. Amazing.
Into the cave. The cave goes back another 5,000.
Wow.
If you love the tour today and you want more adventure, we actually will do wild tours where they get off the trail with the owner of the cave right about here. They walk through this side piece here. Our cave is not very muddy, and they go back another 800 feet to about 1,400 feet back into the cave. It's quite a distance, but it is pretty deep right now.
Please subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers you have, the better off you are. And please hit the like, the thumbs up little icon. That helps a lot as far as the algorithm is concerned and how often the channel then is recommended to others. And leave a comment. Again, that helps just to know what you're thinking and how you enjoy the channel and its content. And again, it helps with the algorithm and helps my channel to get to be recommended to people who are out searching. So again, thank you very much, and I appreciate y'all coming along.